the 7. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Jacobs again, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs takes it in from a yard out, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Carr going to give it to Jacobs.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Richard. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Richard. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the silver and black continue to roll. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends on the Jalen Richard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Takes it at the 7. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
That, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Mahomes. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
by the
time we have to leave the booth.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richard, and some strong running. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
On second down, Richard. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That really sets him back. A loss of 6. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 2nd and 16. Mahomes going to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hill. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Mahomes to throw once more. Buying time to his left. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not. And I think the ball's out, and the Raiders pick it up.
With that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Richard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Carr gives to Richard. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are pouring it on. So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
But I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on. But apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating.
Nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah. Mahomes hit, he lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.